The Constitution reserves power over federal elections to the states, requiring them to set election law and to administer federal elections with Congress in the oversight role. Election administration looks different in every state, and that's our federalist approach in action. It's critical that all voters understand and trust the election process and our outcomes. And the empirical data is clear that when voters are more confident, they're more likely to participate. That's why we must continue to support states in their efforts to build voter confidence and equip them with the tools that they need. Our hearing today is the first in a series leading up to the introduction of the American Confidence in Elections Act, or the ACE Act. Unlike the previous majorities for the PEOPLE Act, our ACE Act has been drafted in the open over the course of nearly 3 years. And I plan to continue to move the ACE Act through regular order. I was proud to work with former Ranking Member Rodney Davis to introduce the ACE Act last Congress. We worked with state and local election administrators and stakeholders across the country to write this legislation. This important bill is part of the House Republican Conference's commitment to America as we work to deliver a government that is more accountable. Following lessons learned in the 2022 midterm election, we're making tweaks to further strengthen the bill. Ultimately, this comprehensive legislation will provide states with the tools to build voter confidence and enhance election integrity. The bill has 3 main pillars, and these include: 1, providing states with voluntary tools and resources for running elections with the highest integrity that voters can have confidence in. 2, implementing much-needed reforms in D.C. to clean up years of elections difficulty here and to clearly demonstrate the positive effects of strong election integrity policies. And 3, protecting free speech. Today's hearing will focus on the first and largest section of the bill. This section provides states with voluntary tools they can implement to bolster voter confidence while removing outdated federal policies that often get in the way. For example, while the U.S. Constitution prohibits non-citizens from voting in federal elections, states need better tools to enforce these prohibitions. And the bill would ensure state and county election officials have access to information held only by federal agencies like the Social Security death list and citizenship status to keep their voter rolls maintained. Additionally, the bill helps the Election Assistance Commission better focus their work. This will enhance a federal forum to encourage information sharing among states as they solve election administration challenges. The ACE Act will modernize EAC's testing and certification program for elections equipment and ensure not only that states, counties, and municipalities have the guidance they need to use federal election grant funds, but also that taxpayer dollars are being protected. It also addresses another key issue that arose during the 2020 election when private funding of election administration was abused to target voters expected to vote for certain candidates. Some states have since prohibited localities from accepting these dollars. It's also appropriate for Congress to review the federal tax benefits of some of these groups, something Rep. Tenney and I have been leading along the way. Additionally, Congress must also hold accountable the executive branch. Every federal agency has an important role in serving the American people. Yet as part of the Biden administration's Promoting Access to Voting executive order, federal agencies were directed to go beyond the scope of their missions and essentially act as voter registration sites. Voter registration is absolutely critical, and we encourage every voter to participate. However, that's not necessarily the responsibility of federal agencies, but rather of secretaries of state and other state and county officials. Directing federal agencies to engage in political activities should concern everyone. These are just some of the issues we address in the ACE Act. This bill is our federalist approach to equip states with key election integrity tools. We're committed to respecting our constitutional system and the differences of each state. This bill isn't a one-size-fits-all federal mandate, but rather a set of tools to help everyone improve our current system. Again, I want to thank our witnesses for being here today. With our collective decades of experience, I look forward to your testimony as we examine the ACE Act.